Hey guys, today we're going to look at our introduction to acids and bases. So this unit we're going to talk specifically about pH values, how to calculate pH values, and how to neutralize an acid with a base or vice versa. But before we get into that, we do have to understand what an acid and a base are. First and foremost, all solutions contain some amount of hydrogen ions, which are also called hydronium ions, and that is symbolized with an H+. We can also write it as H30. So there are extra H's in that substance. In addition, all solutions contain some amount of hydroxide ions, which are these OH minuses. Acidic solutions have those H pluses or H30s. Basic solutions have those OH minuses. Now remember, this plus and this minus tells us that these are individual ions. This hydrogen has lost electrons, so it has a positive charge. This hydroxide has gained electrons, so it has a negative charge. Water is super special because it has equal amounts of hydrogen and hydroxide. When we were balancing and predicting chemical equations, some of you wrote water as HOH. It is specifically one H plus ion and one OH minus ion bonded together. We just rewrite it as H2O for simplicity's sake. So water is perfectly neutral, and it's a solvent used to dissolve acids and bases and to make them a little bit less concentrated. So common properties of acids. Acids tend to taste sour. They burn when they touch the skin, so if you do get a strong acid on your skin, it is going to be painful. It conducts electricity because there are lots of individual ions floating around, and they will react with metals to form gas. So there is a chemical reaction there that produces a gas once they touch metal. So these are common properties of acids. On a test or a quiz, I may ask you to list 2 or 3 of these, but I have given you at least 5 to look at. And characteristics of acids. All of these substances react with litmus paper, and there are technically 3 types of litmus paper that we are going to be using. Acids turn neutral litmus paper red. Red litmus paper stays the same, and blue litmus paper changes red. So it's all opposite. Acids make things red. Think of that in terms of acids burn. Neutral turns red, and that's what we've used in class, those little like beige looking pieces of paper. Red litmus paper stays red, and blue litmus paper changes to red. Since acid has extra H's in the chemical formula, our possible chemical formulas are going to have more H's than OH's. So HCl is hydrochloric acid, that is specifically an acid. H2SO4 is sulfuric acid. HNO3 is nitric acid. So notice all of these have an H by itself. None of them have an OH in them. pH values for acids range from 0 to 6.5 on the pH scale, and we'll talk about that in the next video. And other things that you could know about acids. Generally, acids end up being anything that's citrus. So lemons are a type of acid, grapefruits have a type of acid. When we think of an acidic substance or an acidic food, it is something that has citrus in it. In addition, batteries have acid in it, and your stomach has acid in it. So these are all common things that are considered acidic. Now, properties of bases. Bases are the opposite end of the spectrum as acids. They taste bitter, and some people know what bitter tastes like and some people don't. If you eat an orange and you peel it before you eat it, you want to take all of that white stuff off that's right underneath the orange rind or the orange peel, because that tastes bitter. If in any of your science classes your teacher has given you a little piece of paper and had everyone in class touch the piece of paper to their tongue, some of the people in the class tasted something really gross tasting, and some people didn't taste it at all. That taste is bitter. burnt coffee tends to taste bitter. It has that little aftertaste, that twinge of not tasting good. Bases taste bitter. Bases also feel slippery when you touch it. So if you get a base on your hand, it's going to feel like you can't wash it off almost. It's going to feel super slippery. And they do also conduct electricity because they have high levels of ions also, just like acids do. It's just a different type of ion. So characteristics of bases, they react with litmus paper. So again, we have neutral litmus paper is going to turn blue. Red litmus paper is going to turn blue. And blue litmus paper is going to stay the same. So these are all opposites. Bases turn blue, acids turn red. So neutral, you have to pick one side. Red litmus paper is going to stay red for an acid or turn blue for a base. And blue litmus paper is going to stay blue for a base or turn red for an acid. Possible chemical formulas, just like the acids, they are going to have extra of their chemical compound. So NaOH, MgOH2, and CaOH2. Since these all have OH in them, that makes this a basic substance. pH values range from 7.5 to 14 on the pH scale. So acids were a 0 to a 6.5, bases are a 7.5 to a 14. That means that 6.5 to 7.5 is considered neutral. That's the continuum or the area that we would say it's not quite acidic, it's not quite basic, it's still close enough to the center to be considered neutral. Other characteristics are common things that are considered bases. Any type of cleaner is a base. So if you have laundry detergent, that's considered basic. If you have lye, which is a substance that is found in detergent, that is also considered basic. Bleach is considered basic. Milk is considered basic, as well as antacids. So anytime that you eat Tums or Pepto-Bismol, that is considered a basic substance because it works in order to counteract acids. So here are just the simple characteristics of acids and bases. You're going to have a practice worksheet which is going to work your way through determining which is which and why. And then we're going to move forward with the pH scale. So I'll see you tomorrow so we can practice before we introduce the pH scale.